Hello, I am Toni Collis, co-founder of Women in HPC, and I'm delighted to be here today with Lenovo at ISC 2017 and talking to Angelo Apa, Technical Sales and Business Development Director for Lenovo, who is going to answer a few questions about what Lenovo is doing on diversity. So first of all, I'd like to ask, why is diversity important to you, to Lenovo, your company, your business, and everything you do?
Hi Tony, great to be here and chatting. Lenovo is a really interesting company, and because it started in China, the founders realized that they needed to become very, very diverse in culture and in every other way. So what we've found is that they've become a very multicultural company very, very quickly. Now, we've seen studies that show that a higher level of diversity in all sorts of different ways actually give us better results, better business results. So we focus very clearly on all kinds of diversity, not just gender diversity, but without having true gender diversity, what we're finding is that our customers, we're not reflecting our customers. So it's really important that we build that. So right now, around about 37% of our employees globally are female, and in EMEA, Europe, the Middle East and Africa, we've got about 13% of our execs, so the highest people that we've got in the organization are also women. We're looking to build that further, but that's where we are right now.
That's great. So you mentioned there that you think you need diversity in order to reflect the needs of your customers. Have you got any specific examples of how diversity may impact your actual business, technology, the high-performance computing community, and your outputs?
Sure. What we find is that if we don't have a diverse team, and right now I'm suffering from that in my particular team, you find that the levels of creativity, the levels of interaction are not as high as when you actually have a good, solid, diverse team in all ways, particularly from a gender perspective. So losing that creativity is something that we really don't want to do, and we want to get more and more creativity to help and to work with our customers. People buy from people. We really do need to reflect society, we need to reflect what our customers are, and in the scientific and technical space, this is particularly important because we find that it's even more difficult to find women who want to work in this area. Whether it be schools, whether it be the way that they're brought up, I'm not sure, but it's much more difficult to actually get girls to work in this area. So that's something that we're focusing on. So in order to gain creativity, in order to get more ideas, quality of your communications, and also the team working better together, we're really keen to build upon that and to do an even better job than we do today.
So Lenovo have been a fantastic supporter of Women in HPC and the work that my team is carrying out. You helped us run a lunch yesterday, which is absolutely fantastic. But what are you doing in Lenovo, both you as an individual in your own unit and more broadly across Lenovo to improve diversity, particularly gender diversity, but going beyond that as well?
Sure. So from a broad perspective, we have a program called Women in Lenovo Leadership. And this is where we focus upon women that we believe that have got real potential, not because they're women, but because they have potential. And we fast-track them through into executive positions and get them into a leadership position where they can help us to build on things like that creativity that we were talking about earlier. In my team, I've got a team of primarily technical people, and what we're finding is that there are very few technical women who want to apply for the jobs when we post them. So working with some of the folks from the lunch yesterday, some of the ideas that were brought about, we're very keen to go and take those ideas now, looking at perhaps the way in which we change job descriptions in order to make women more interested in responding to the job advertisements that we put out there. One thing that I would say that I would ask people to look at is we have a website which is www.lenovowomen.com. That's one word, lenovowomen.com. Go and take a look at what we're doing. I think you'll find that it's quite impressive, but again, we always want to do more.
So you mentioned there that one of the challenges you face is actually getting women to apply. So what other hurdles are you facing when you're trying to improve diversity? Have you hit any roadblocks where you've tried something and it's not worked? Or, some ideas that you can share with us, because after all, we're all trying to do this together and sometimes it feels like we're all by ourselves.
Yeah, sure. And again, I go back to this example. I'll go further on that now. Most recently, I had a job available in Scotland for a pre-sales technical consultant, technical architect. And I specifically asked our recruiters to go out there and look for women who may be interested in applying for that job. And we were unable to get any women to apply for that job at all. I was really, really disappointed about that, because I saw this as a real opportunity for us to gain some gender diversity into the team, more so than we have today. So I think it's a real challenge for us just getting women to apply. And a lot of the things that I was listening to yesterday when we had our lunch with your team was fascinating. Things like, instead of presenting a job description as a list of facts about what it is that the job is, one idea was to have a paragraph on a day in the life of, which perhaps gives a better feel that women would more appreciate for what the role looks like, rather than just these are the things that you have to be able to do.
And one more question for you. What advice would you give to another company setting out on trying to improve diversity? For example, if you could start over, what would you change about the route that perhaps you have taken? Or have you just got some concrete things that people should start out doing as the very first step towards improving diversity in the workplace?
I think the most important thing is to be completely honest with yourself. Really audit yourself very harshly to understand what is the position that you're in today. And then once you've done that, set sensible goals, and set sensible goals about the recruitment of the right people who happen to be women, rather than setting a goal, as we see perhaps in some of our political parties in the UK, where they're setting a specific number of women that need to be members of parliament. I don't think that really helps. In many ways, I think it's demeaning. So instead, make sure that you are firstly understanding what your challenges are, and then set sensible goals as to how you can go out there and to recruit more people who are appropriate and happen to be female. I think that you then need to set an actual owner for this process. So, and it mustn't be like a side project that one of the execs happens to have. It's something that somebody has to wake up every morning and think, how do I go and do more about that? And fix into your processes, your recruitment processes and your mentoring processes, how it is that you can focus specifically on the needs that women may have, which are slightly different than men may have within an organization. The last thing that I would say is be aware that it's possible to be unconsciously discriminatory. I don't think anybody wants to discriminate, but there are times when people don't even realize that they're doing it. And that, for me, came particularly true when we were talking about the job descriptions. Because if you don't understand what may appeal to a woman, you are being unconsciously discriminatory. And then once you've got it right, shout about it and make sure that everyone is aware of what you've done.
That's fantastic advice. Thank you very much. I'd like to finish off by thanking Lenovo for hosting us here today, thanking Angelo personally for talking about something that all of us are facing as a challenge, but sometimes we struggle to talk about. And I hope this encourages everybody to go out there, start talking about this and sharing their ideas and, crucially, the challenges with each other, because we're not alone in this. Thank you.